and welcome to today's Decay. We celebrate births and beginnings and everything important since the dawn of time. April 13th edition? 13th. Yeah. What happened? James Ensor, Belgium's famous painter. Born today, 1860, who I was lucky enough to see like a whole James Ensor career retrospective. MoMA? Met? One of those Manhattan fancy art galleries, museums. Yeah, his stuff's filled with clowns and corpses, and a bit of revolution as well. It's great, and he didn't belong to any sort of art movement. He was just kind of like a weirdo doing his own thing, off on his various clowns, corpses, and revolutionary tangents. Not a bad place to be. James Ensor. Roy Loney, born today, 1946, of Flaming Groovies and the Phantom Movers. Really like the Phantom Movers. It's kind of like an overlooked chapter of his life, I think. Yeah. Check him out. Masterpiece Theater with Ghoulardi premiered today, 1963. That's why we're reading the Ghoulardi book. Ghoulardi was Ernie Anderson in Cleveland, who was so popular that he wound up having like 3 shows. I think 2 were concurrent. One was like a kid's show and one was an evening show. People were mad for Ghoulardi, including one Lux Interior, who was very shaped by Ernie Anderson's antics on this show. Yeah. The whole Stay Sick, Turn Blue, Purple Kniff. It's all here. It's all here in these very pages. Most Ghoulardi content is lost. Most Horror Host content was like filmed on like tapes that were scrubbed and recycled and used again. Nobody thought they'd ever want to see them again, and they weren't played outside of their like region. So, if you were like within the broadcast range of Ghoulardi's show, you could catch it, and like that is it. And there's a couple of tapes that people have made that are like reproductions of like, here's how it kind of would have been, sort of, kind of, but almost all that exists is like not him as his Ghoulardi character, or like that Parma stuff, which it's not the best. No. But what was is still really exciting to think about because people were mad for him, and the little snippets of it look absolutely unhinged and really fun. Yeah. Suburbia premiered today, 1984. That's the Penelope Spheris one with TSOL and DI and the Vandals. And this made such a profound impact on me as a kid. I feel like that whole crowd are like who I wanted to be my friends and kind of became my friends, at least in my head. I don't know. Anyway, also today, 1984, Friday the 13th, Part 4, the final chapter premiered, which, like, how ridiculous. Like, is this the first time it took to episode 4 or Part 4 for, like, the full-on Jason Voorhees, like, mask, hockey mask, and like his whole mythology is like finally solidified? It took to the 4th one. I love how ridiculous that is. I feel like so many of the Friday the 13th movies, like the star of the show is like the 1980s, and this one has it in spades with Crispin Glover, Corey Feldman. It's just like full on ridiculous 1980s, and I'm here for it. Yeah, but like crazy to think that it really took to the 4th one for them to really like figure out what they were going to do, and then that becomes like this icon for so long afterwards. Would you compare it to Nightmare on Elm Street, where like they basically have the premise from like the get-go, but also like the whole, there's like so many like things that don't age well, Freddy's background and everything. Unfortunate. But then also like so surreal in how it was done. I don't know. To me, that feels like a fully formed thought. Whether it was, you know, a good one or not, I guess is another question, or if there's some regrettable aspects of it. Halloween didn't seem to really know what to do with itself after the first one, even though I loved the third one. Phantasm, fabulous, but what is going on? Who the hell knows? I guess my point is all of these like giant franchises, like have just as much sense of what they want to do and vision of where this is going and why, and that like will this be important as like major religions. Da, 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 da. And like whoever thought any of that was going to continue. I feel like everybody's just flying by the seat of their pants, and I don't know. My support is for Jason Voorhees. Another like wonderful thing, this Friday the 13th premiered on, you know, a 13th, presuming 1984 fell on a Friday. Some of those Friday the 13th movies like don't come out on the 13th, like on a Friday the 13th, and like, could you come up with like a more marketable idea? Like, why would you not just wait till the next Friday the 13th? I just, like, you know, they don't know what they're doing. Nobody knows what they're doing. We're all just pretending. All right, that's it. All day, from me to you, till tomorrow. I'm gonna go back to reading about Coolardy. Goodbye. Stay sick, term.